Hooks and herons. Today in maths, we are still looking at money and we are going to look at comparing two different values of money. So, looking how much one thing costs and another thing costs and seeing which one is cheaper or more expensive. And then we're going to have a little quick look at finding how much more expensive something is or how much cheaper something is. So, first of all, we've got our Borough Market stall here, where we've got strawberries at 2.90, blackberries at 2.50, mangoes at 3.20, figs are 50p, kiwi fruit is 40p, pineapples are £2.30, tomatoes are £3.30, and oranges are £3.35. And we're going to be looking at putting these in order from biggest to smallest. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to first look at the pounds. Which one has the most pounds? See, this one has a £2 sign in front of it. So I know that's going to be bigger than anything that has a £1 sign in front of it or has a 0. But isn't going to be bigger than anything that has a £3. So I'm looking just at that £2 there first. So that's £2. We're going to put that there, the strawberries. Blackberries, that's also £2. Oh, mangoes. Those have a £3 sign in front of it. So I know those are going to be more expensive than strawberries or blackberries. No matter how many pennies there are, mangoes is going to be more expensive because it's got £3 in front of it. Okay, then we've got figs, which is 50p. There's no pounds there. There's not enough. So I know that's going to be one of the smaller values. Kiwi, that's 40. That's the same as figs. It's going to be small because it hasn't got any pounds at all. Pineapples, that's a £2. So that's going to go over here with blackberries and strawberries. Tomatoes, that's £3, so that's going to be quite expensive again because it's bigger than anything that's got £2 and bigger than anything that's got £0. And lastly, oranges. Oranges is £3.35 per kilogram. So I know that that's going to also be one of my big values. So I've separated it out into pounds first. Things that have got no pounds, things that have got £2 or more, and things that have got £3 or more. So let's start with the ones that have got £0. Now I don't have to worry about the pounds because I'm just looking at the pennies this time. So this one's got 50 pence and this one's got 40 pence. Now I know 50 is a bigger number than 40. So I know that 40 is going to be my smallest value and then figs is going to be my next smallest value because 40 is 10 less than 50p. Okay, now let's look at the £2. I've got £2.30, got £2.50 and I've got £2.90. Okay, so 30 is a smaller number than 50 and 90. 50 is smaller than 90. And then I've got 90. Okay, now I can look at mangoes and tomatoes and oranges, all of which start with £3. So I know, let's have a look. I've got £3.35, £3.30 and £3.20. So what's the smallest number? 20, 30 or 35? I know it's 20. And then 30 or 35. Which one's smaller there? 30. 30 is 5 less. And then oranges are the most expensive. So it goes oranges at £3.35 is the biggest and the most expensive. When we say something's got the largest amount of money, it's the most expensive. So it's the most amount of money and it's the most expensive are those oranges. All the way down to the bottom where I've got kiwi fruit, which is 40 pence. So that's my smallest value that I have on my market stall. At the mango just versus the pineapple. Now we know that the mango is worth £3.20, the pineapple is worth £2.30. So £3.20 is always more than £2.30. But you could say £3.50 is always more than £2.60. £3.01 is always more than £2.99. I can put any two VAT numbers in here and any two numbers in here, and whatever has the £3 in front of it will always be more expensive than the thing that has the £2 in front of it, because £3 is more than £2. Pause the video and have a little go at this sentence yourself. Okay, moving on. Here I have got my blackberries, and my blackberries are £2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 5 10p pieces. 10p, 20p, 30p, 40p, 50p. So my blackberry, £2.50. My strawberries are £2.50, but also 60, 70, 80, 90. So £2, £2.10, £2.20, £2.30, £2.30, 40, £2.50, £2.60, £2.70, £2.80, £2.90. So £2.90 is more expensive than £2.50 because 50p is less than 90p, which we can also use here. So this is similar to the sentence before. £2.50 something is always going to be less than £2.90 something because the 5 is smaller than the 9. So I can use this just like we do with normal numbers. I can use this to see which is always going to be less. So £2.51 is always less than £2.91. £2.52 is always less than £2.99. Doesn't matter what number I put in here and what number I put in here, £2.50 something is always less than £2.90 something. Have a go at this sentence here as well. Okay, let's have a look at this one. So let's compare these two amounts. So here I have 51.52. So I have 52p. Then here I have 20p, 30p, 40p, 50p, 60p. So I have 20, 40, 60. So here I have 60 pence. Which one's bigger? So I can see that this starts with a 5, so it's 50. This starts with a 6, so it's 60. So 60 will always be bigger than 50. So I know that 60p is greater than 52p. So I can put my symbol inside of here that shows that. Hold a 6. Go away. Go away, 6. So I can show that 52p is less than 60p. And remember, this is the less than symbol because the arrow points to the smaller number, or, as we can see here, the smallest part of the shape that we've got here, our triangle, the smaller part of the shape, this bit here, is the smaller part of the number. The larger gap of the shape points to the larger number. So I can see that 52p is smaller than or less than 60p. But how much less than is it? So if I have my 60p and I have my 52 pence here, how many more pennies would I have to add to 52 to get to 60? Let's see. So on 52, now I've got 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. 50 pence. I've made it to 60p. But how much more is it? Let's write the sentence. So, 60 pence, or 60p, is, how many pennies was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is 8p greater than 52 pence? And I can also write that as a number sentence. 52p, if I add 8p, I will get 60 pence. Or I can write it a different way. 60 pence minus 8 pence will give me 52p. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. So here's the next one. How much have I got here? I've got 50p plus 20p. So 50p plus 10 is 60, plus another 10 is 70. So here I've got 70p. And I've got to make sure I put that pence sign, because if I don't, it could look like £70. So I've got to make sure I put 70p, because it's very different whether you want 70p or £70. So you've got to make sure you put that money sign there. So I've got 70p. Okay, now in this one, I've got 20 plus 10, which is 30, plus 5, which is 35. So I've got 35 pence. So 70p, 35p. Which one is more expensive? what symbol is going to go in the middle of here and which way round is it going to be? Which smaller part of my sign is going to point which way? Is it going to point this way to the 70p or is it going to point this way to the 35p? What do you think? It's going to point this way because the larger part of the symbol is pointing at the 70 and the smaller part of the symbol is pointing at the 35. So we can read this sentence. 70 pence is greater than 35 pence. And we can put that as write that as a sentence. 70 pence is greater than 35 pence. Now we could also put this the other way around. I could have my 35p on this side. I could have my 70p on this side. And then it would change the way my symbol goes round. No longer can I just use the same symbol because now it says 35 pence is greater than 70p. And that's not right. So it would have to go the other way around, with the smaller part of the shape always pointing to the smaller number and the larger part of the shape always pointing to the bigger number. So I can rearrange this sentence as I can say 70p is, I just realised that says greater. 70p is greater than 35p. I can say that 35p is less than 70p. Okay? Now let's have a look at what we did before. Can we work out how much greater 70 pence is than 35 pence? So taking my smaller number, what do I need to add to 70p to 35p to make it 70p? Now, last time I did this in jumps of pennies, I'm going to try and do bigger jumps this time to see if I can get closer. So I'm going to start with 35p and I'm going to add 5p. So I've now got 35p, 36p, 37, 38, 39, 40. So I've got 40p. Close, but not quite yet. 40p. Now I'm up to 50p because I've added 10. Now I'm up to 60p. Now I'm up to 70p. Okay, so now I can write my sentence. 35 pence is how much smaller was it? 10, 20, 30, 35. So it's half. 35 pence is 35 pence less than 70p. Or I could say 70p is 35 pence more than 35 pence. And again, I could phrase this as a number sentence. I could say, oh, get rid of this writing. I could say that 35p plus another 35p equals 70p. I could say that 70p minus 35p equals 35p. Now, because 35 and 35 are the same value, I could even say that 35p times by 2 is 70 pence. And there's one more I could do. 70p divided by 2 is equal to 35 pence. Okay, so on the next page, I have got a bunch of sums for you to compare as well. I've got this one comparing this one, and you need to tell me blank is more than blank. So you need to tell me which is the bigger number out of these two and which is the smaller. So the sentence makes sense. Is more than And if you want the challenge as well, tell me how much more than it is. Is it 5p more? Is it 10p more? Is it 20p more? How many more pennies do I need to add to the smaller value to make the bigger value? And you can do that for all three if you want to take that challenge. And then question 2 is the same. It just looks slightly different. What's more expensive? What's more, the pencil or the rubber? And what is the difference between the two? What's more, the lollies or the chocolate? And what's the difference between the two? What's more, the ice cream or the milk? And what's the difference between the two? And that's, you can see the challenge. How much more is it in each question? Journal how you work it out. Do you work it out the same way as me or do you work it out a different way?